Collards are a great cool season vegetable. In fact, they're better during the cool weather than they are when it's warm because they're sweeter. As the temperature drops below freezing, the starch in the vegetable actually changes to sugar, and so you get something that's much sweeter than if you eat it early on. The thing you have to watch for, however, is that the greens are not too old. So if you have to buy them, you need to make sure that they're still bright green and that they're not starting to wilt. I'm going to make gingered greens and rice, which is a little bit more exciting than just the traditional collard that most of us think of. Very often collards are cooked for a long time in order to tenderize them. I have 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter in the pan, and to that I've added 2 tablespoons of finely chopped onion and 2 teaspoons of freshly grated ginger. I'm also going to add, to really spike the heat on this, a different kind of heat, 1 jalapeno pepper that's been finely chopped up. And before I go any farther, I'm going to start adding the collards. Now, collards can be cooked any length of time and with or without added liquid. If you do cook them with liquid, though, you're going to want to make sure that you use that liquid later because there's going to be a lot of nutrients in them. The other thing about the length of time that you cook is that it really affects the amount of vitamin C and other nutrients, other vitamins that are destroyed by heat. So if you cook it for a very long time, you're going to have a lot less of those in the final mix when you get around to eating it. I've got a couple of pieces I don't want to get rid of there. You do need to sort through it, which I actually did beforehand, but apparently didn't quite get everything out. The other thing about this is that it does cook down a lot, probably to about 1/5 of what you started with. So like spinach, you're going to have a very big pot full, and you're going to think, well, I can never get that in my pot, and you really can't at the first. But don't be hesitant to go ahead and let it cook, keep it stirring and turning, and as it collapses, you just continue to add more until you finally get it all in there. Now, since I've got this going a little bit, I'm also going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And we're just going to keep stirring and adding, and you're going to do this, the longer it cooks, the more tender it's going to become, so it's sort of up to you. It's also dependent a little bit on how fresh your greens were, how mature they were. So you may want to cook it for as little as 7 minutes if you've got something that's young and new, or you may want to go up to 20 minutes to get it down to the tenderness that you like. All right, we started with that great big bowl of collards and let it cook for a little while, and it's now down to a very manageable size in our pan. Now, if you look down in here, you're going to see a little bit of liquid. I would not drain that away because some of the nutrients that have leached out of the vegetable are going to be in there. Plus, it's really nice flavored. So not only would you lose nutrients, but you're going to lose a lot of taste. Remember, you're just going to cook this until you taste it and you decide that it's tender, and that's when it's ready to go. And then we've got about a 1/2 cup of rice per person. It's brown rice, so we get extra nutrition and fiber that way too. And you're going to put about a cup of this over the top of it. You could also serve this over a baked potato or over whole grain pasta. But it's really nice. It's got a lot of bright flavor. It's got the sweetness from the collards themselves. It's got the fire from the jalapeno and from the ginger and the pepper. It's something really special. I think you're going to like it. This is Gingered Greens and Rice. For Oklahoma Gardening, this is Barbara Brown.